What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, we're going to be checking back in on Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulation. Judgment Ass. That's what I always like to call it. No matter what, it's Judgment Ass. Whenever somebody asks me, what are you playing right now? What colony builders have you interested? Judgment Ass. And they'd be like, what does ass stand for? I'm like, I don't know. It's just a colony builder where you look at asses all day and you rate them from 1 to 10. Anyways, Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulation. This is one of those odd games where the devil has come down to Georgia and it's time for you to defend your colony against the ravenous hordes attempting to lock us out of continued existence. We checked it out probably about 6 months ago, but about a week ago, the developers sent over the 1.0 version so that we could check it out here on the channel before it actively comes out on the 3rd, which is probably the day that this is actually going to go live. But aside from that, I don't really have much else to say. Let's go ahead and jump straight onto the game. We're going to play on challenging. That's fine. We'll keep the tutorials up just in case. It's been a while since I played last. I have put like 20, 30 hours into this game, but sometimes I like to just have the tutorials there to remind me of the little minutia and whatnot that I'm not, you know, aware of. We've got our 3 people that we're starting out with right now. We've got a weak marathon runner named Ronald. We have an academic who's a scientist. And then we have Timmy, who is a fencer/adventurous individual. Sounds like a plan to me. We can take all 3. There's no ladies here. Our colony's going to be a veritable sausage fest, but oh well.
Monthly camping trips, escaping the daily routine, drinking beers and telling jokes. All of a sudden, 2 terrified hunters come running out of the dock, screaming at you to hide. You hear loud growling noises from the woods behind them. Out of the trees appears the creature, a beast like nothing you've ever seen before, straight out of a horror tale. It catches up with the hunters, and they turn to fight.
Well, we will turn and fight. Here they come. While your small group quickly hides amongst the trees, the 2 hunters check their weapons one last time. Jeremiah and Chandler have never faced monsters like these, but they are still combat veterans. With years of training, and instinct settles in. Left click to select and right click to give them orders. Okay. Chandler and oh my god, that is a lot of enemies. Holy bejesus. What do you have, just like a machete? Why are you out hunting with a katana, man? Oh, you've got a grenade? Hold up. How do I throw a grenade? I've never had a grenade in this game before. Throw it, enemy. How do I throw the grenade? How do I need to throw a grenade, like, right now. Oh, there it is. Yeah, put a grenade out. That took longer than expected. Jeremiah, fight with your katana. Defeat these demons. The minions of hell will be driven back. The power of Christ compels you. And down they go. The hunters hear more creatures emerging from the woods. Breathless and scared, they prepare to defend themselves against yet another wave. These creatures can attack from far. Ducking behind cover such as the ruin of the old car nearby will give them increased protection. Okay, which way are they coming from? Oh, they're coming from over there. All right. Get in behind the car, I guess. I don't know if that counts. Maybe. It looks like it does. I think they've got themselves some defensive lines going on right now. Jeremiah is taking the brunt of the attack. I'm assuming that this is that situation that I was supposed to have the grenade for. But Chandler's over here just putting 7.62s in cats until they fall over. Jeremiah, carrying a blade, is well suited to be a frontline defender, while Chandler, with his hunting rifle, attacks from afar. The survivors with ranged weapons suffer a penalty in both attack and defense when attacking enemies adjacent to them. Keep Chandler behind Jeremiah. More critters is approaching. I got a heal right here. He gonna need it. Let's go ahead and put the heal out. You get over to here and you block him. Yeah, just stand in front of him and don't let them by. He's gonna put bullets on him. And I promise, is that like, oh, we've got protect. We've got like a shield too. Ooh, yeah, put a shield on him. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. He needs magic shield. That's the only way to deal with the devil right there, is to have magic shield.
The strange creatures lie dead. What were those things? They look like demons straight out of a horror film. But it's not over. You hear more growling sounds from the dark woods. More of the menacing creatures come swarming into the clearing. The hunters are surrounded and yell at you to run. You waste no time and do as they say. You climb a small hill that affords a clear view of the nearby town. It is already burning. You can hear the sound of growling and panicked screams carried across the wind. The creatures are everywhere. Going back is not an option. You decide to move away from the town, deeper into the woods. You find a remote clearing where you decide to regroup and try to figure out what just happened.
I don't think the demonic invasion is going to go very well in the United States. This must not be the U.S. I don't know, man. Everybody I know got like 8 guns and like thousands of rounds of ammo. It would have gone just like Chandler's Stand right there. All you hear is gunshots and screaming demons. I can tell you that much. I've been an American my whole life, and we like those excuses to break out firearms. It's a cultural thing. Alright, so you need a rest now. As your flight from those things has left you bruised and exhausted, you seem to be safe for now, but you can still hear the occasional explosions from the town you left behind. You're happy, in a terrified kind of way, to have survived the attack. It'll certainly be just a matter of time until the government calls in the bombers and takes care of the creatures. But in the meantime, it's still too dangerous to think about going back to town, and you will need to fend for yourselves in the woods for a while. There are less than a handful of you still left alive, and your group will need to build some sort of shelter to have any chance of surviving until you are rescued. So we need to build a log cabin, we need to build a well, a food table, and a bed for people to sleep in. Survivors have their own tasks. Yeah, I'm aware of how that works. This game is actually fairly straightforward with how it all functions. Let's have a little look at our map here. Well, there's not a lot of space to build. Realistically, the enemy can come from any direction, and so we kind of want to be centralized, would be my thought. If we build towards an edge of the map, it's always entirely possible that they'll spawn along the edges and mess with us. I don't know if that's an exploit that could be used. I would assume that the developers would have seen through that already, but hell, what do I know about anything? We got tasks over here. My suggestion is that we get ourselves a nice little thin strip of trees right here, and we knock them the hell on down. We've got ourselves clay. We've got ourselves some stone, and we've got ourselves a mineral resource right there as well. There's also some busted-ass camps in the area that are not going to be that helpful. But we do have things that we can do, so there you go. We're going to get started. In our crafting menu, we'll probably want to build some stuff first. Yes, I'm aware of that. Thank you. I think the building of a log cabin is probably the most sexual idea we can do right now, so there it is. That's still kind of centralized, but we're going to have to get rid of some trees before this all starts working. So Ronald has hastily sprung into action, and undaunted by the task of building an entire house by hand. I am not Ronald. If you had told me to build an entire house by hand, you'd probably come back the next day, and it would just look like something that was whittled by a drunk man. It would look terrible. It'd look awful. I'd have the planks sunk in the ground. There'd be no foundation. I'd be like, I don't know how to do this. Why'd you give the job to me, man? You picked the wrong person to handle this task. This is one of those games that really surprised me with how good it was. Like, it's one of those games that's like, it's not much of a looker, and yet once you start playing, you'll find that you're like 5 or 8 hours in, all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, how am I this far into this game right now? The first time I saw it, I honestly didn't even give it the time of day, but I've played it a couple times now. I've streamed it a couple times at twitch.tv/SplatterCatGaming, and the times that I've played it, I've almost universally had a good time. It's a fun game for a colony builder. It's lightweight, it's not hard to figure out, but there are definitely right things and wrong things that you can do in this game. We can build ourselves a bed over here, I guess. I think it's a good idea. Let's go ahead and build that thing. Somebody's going to run on over there. I'm hoping they can clear out these trees before too long. I'm going to create a few more tasks to wipe out about as many of these trees as we can so we can end up with extra building space. I realize fully that this is probably going to eat up more time than we need it to take, but I'm not super enthused about the prospect of pushing our construction over to the side of the map. The bed, it makes it so that people can go to sleep. So every single person has stats here. They have their health, they have their nutrition, and they have their energy. And those are going to be things you want to keep in mind. Energy, when it gets low, they need to find a bed, otherwise they're going to have a hard time, and it's just going to suck for them. Experimentation table, we use that for doing science, essentially. I will probably put the well, like, right there, because I've got space for it right now, and I don't see a reason not to. So off it goes. These guys are going to keep working on their stuff. The other build task that I wanted to make is we need a food table so that they can actually get food from right there. We're going to put that on that side. At the moment, we don't actually have a lot of food. All we have is a bunch of salads. Not that great for caloric intake. We're going to want to get better meals about as soon as possible, but up until the time that we can provide ourselves with farming and, like, growing pigs and stuff like that, it's not going to help much. Questions abound in regards to the demons. Some in the group are certain that they will soon possess your souls, and others think that they could somehow meet and converse with a demon and learn what they want. In the meantime, finding food is going to be a critical problem, so you need to learn some basic agriculture to grow your own. You will need to pool information to begin experiments from the supplies at hand. And so, see, this is where we're going to get ourselves into trouble a little bit, because we need building space. This seed's a little bit rough. That takes... Does it take wood to build that? Like, we're chopping down trees right now, but I don't see any of this costing resources, just time. Oh, there it is. That one takes resources. How come that one doesn't take resources? Maybe we get one for free? Maybe they give us a freebie here. It's possible. We don't have space to build it right now, so I'm going to put it right there. Hopefully we'll get that done. We're going to put in our research table and some other little things that we can make happen. You can organize the tasks on each of your people. Our current mission is to just research farming. I can do that. You can set priorities on each one of these people for what you want them to do. And so, for example, on him, you can actually just move these. I think left is better, so we'll move these on over to here. We want him to do physical tasks, if at all possible. We don't want him to farm because he's bad at it. This is a preferred task for him, so we'll make him farming. He likes occult research as well. He likes lumberjacking, but we need somebody to be a builder right now. And so if there's no lumberjacking tasks, I assume it'll be okay. We can search debris, and he can quarry as well. So we actually have a pretty good skill set right now. I'm fairly happy with what these dudes are able to accomplish as it sits at the moment. The experimentation table, we will go ahead and place that on down. We need boards and wood for another bed. There goes our experiment table. As you can see, they are happily munching down on a little bit of rabbit food over there just to make their lives a little bit easier. We are not clearing these trees rapidly enough to make me happy. I need these trees to be dead a lot faster. Well, you guys just keep working on it. We're going to have a hell of a wood supply by the time we get out of here. We've also got research. We got to start on this stuff. And so some things require materials in order to get done. That's what that tutorial was saying right there. And some things do not. But basically the way that it works is they will sit here, and every time he generates a research point right there, you can spend that. And so we have 5 research points out of 7. We can make a veggie farm. There's our veggie farm. Your farming research is doing well, and you will need to beat at least 2 farm plots to even come close to feeding yourselves. You may not have enough resources to build them now, but there are plenty that you can collect. You can chop trees for wood, quarry for stone and clay, and search debris for scraps. We're starting to clear out a little bit of room right here, too, which I think is really, really good. We're starting to get at least a little bit of space to play around with. In order to make a vegetable farm, we need 10 stones and a bunch of wood. So let's go ahead and put that in right there. I will say to quarry the stone if you can. We do have a lot of chopping tasks going on right now, and so we may want to go through and find somebody like Timmy and tell him to quarry first, just to make sure that somebody is doing it so we can get those farms up and running. So there it is. I'm going to put Timmy on quarrying real fast. I don't know how long it's going to take him to wipe out that stone, but it needs to get done. We don't really have much of an option. Ronald's taking a nap right there. There's a strange black miasma floating through, which I don't feel confident about. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel confident about it. As far as crafting goes, we can make some clubs to arm people if we really want to. I will probably make a second vegetable garden right there just to make sure it gets finished off. They were very adamant about me making 2 of them. We're not going to be able to tend these entirely until we have a few more colonists working around here. Until you have like 5 or 6 colonists, it's a slow slog, okay? It's going to take you some time. How many points do we have? 25? What can I do right now? We can do patchwork. We can get armor right there. As far as this crafting goes, we can't do bow making yet. But bow making is a pretty good thing to invest yourself into, because some characters are just bad at melee in this game. They're just not good at it. And giving them some way to fight back while the frontline guys hold the line is usually a pretty good plan. There are no hysterics and whimperings in your group, just a clear understanding that survival now depends upon your ability to perform some basic Stone Age tasks that your ancestors mastered thousands of years ago. Your group need to both hunt and defend yourselves, so some sturdy wooden clubs need to be crafted. Okay. Well, they gave us the quest, so we might as well do it. There's 3 clubs right there. I don't know who's going to make the clubs. I don't know if we need a crafting table for that, do we? A workbench. There it is. Go ahead and put the workbench in then. We got other stuff we got to get done before we can actually settle here. Ronald's going to come up and get that done, which I very much appreciate. Ronaldo? Is everybody trying to go to bed right now? This happens from time to time. Oh, they all got hungry at the same time? Okay. That'll do it. God, we really need to get the space cleared out. I need the space cleared out badly. Until it gets done, we're going to have to clear a lot of this stuff. We don't have a lot of building room right now. We do have a lot of resources. It's a very lucky map on the resource front. But on the opposite front for building space, not exactly the best place to be. I'm going to save up for bow making right now. I'm well aware that I can upgrade cooking and we could go on to wheat farms and stoves and bread and all that kind of stuff if we really wanted to. But I don't think it's that important for right now. I would rather be able to defend ourselves before we do anything of that ilk. Are you getting that done right there? Man, that's taking its sweet-ass time. That's taking a while to get done. He's all nice and simmed back up, looking good. Research is getting done on that front. Are we actually in a good place with that? Bow making's got a little bit of time left. We'll get it done today. It will 100% get done today, but I would recommend you go for bow research about as fast as you can in this title. Bow research is good. Is very, very nice. You, as soon as you're done with the bow research... There we go. So bow making is done. I need your priorities. I need you to craft, amigo. I need you to craft very, very badly. If there's crafting to get done, I need you to be on it. So there's our clubs right there. None of you thought you were free of the demons, and in fact, a small demon is wandering nearby and noticed your camp. Your group must prepare to defend yourselves as best you can and be ready to fight your aggressors hand-to-hand with rough clubs. Now, you can't equip this stuff right here. You just go through and bim, bam, bomb. Some of your characters are going to be better warriors than others, so keep that in mind. Some people... they're just not going to be that useful in a fight, but other people are going to be very, very useful in a fight, and it comes down to how you want to apply yourself. He's doing research again. You are being attacked. Equip your survivors. Defeat all of the attacking enemies. So there it is. We are approved. So in combat, this game is basically just an RTS. People stop doing whatever their tasks are, and then you just command them to go do things. This guy over here shouldn't be too bad. We've got blood rubies over there. That's pretty new. I haven't seen that before. Those didn't exist the last time I played the game. Go mess this dude up. Go hit this dude with a stick until he falls over. That's what I'm talking about. Bludgeon the life out of him. Although, how you kill something that comes from the afterlife, I don't really know. Learning that you can, in fact, fight back against the demons successfully has raised your spirits a bit. But it's been a while since their appearance, and no military effort to rescue survivors has yet materialized. The realization that you may not be rescued at all is difficult to digest. Perhaps you yourselves will need to lead a militia of all survivors to fight against the demon horde. You must prepare. Scattered around this area, there seem to be a few points of interest that could have valuable sources of materials. You are tempted to push some exploratory expeditions a bit further away from the settlement. Demons pass often through the woods, though, so any expedition should be well armed. Okay. And so what we can do now is, outside of colony management, we can go in, and I think it's actually on the world map right here. We can send people out. And so we will have like a shopping center right here. It's got scrap metal, and it's got drinking water, and it's only defended by one minor demon. This place has scrap metal. This place has wood and drinking water. This place right here has multiple demons, but it does have a lot of drinking water. And the general rule is the further away from home you are, the better the loot is going to be. And so by the time you get to the end of the game, you're going to be traveling out like really, really, really far. In case you hadn't thought about it, you're going to be traveling out. You're going to be getting out there and trying to solve some problems. I think we should craft some bows. I think it's a really good plan. We need arrows in order to get the bows done. Let's get 2 bows done. So we'll get 2 arrows finished off. We can use bits and pieces of scrap as well if we really want to. We can also scrap other things if we're really in the market for that. Are these being tended right now? I don't even know if these are growing at the moment. I don't know if I have anybody that's actively engaged in farming. We're starting to get some retail space back over on this side, but I don't know. They should only tend it when it needs to be tended, I think. Harry, go up in here and, yeah, plant seeds, man. Go plant seeds as soon as you're back up. We're going to need food really, really shortly. Come on, Harry. Get your ass out of bed. That's what I'm talking about. Get that done right there. Okay. And then you get that done as well. The more seeds we have planted, the happier a camper I shall be. I may have to abandon my endeavor to get all of these trees knocked down. I'm trying real hard just to get myself some extra living space, but they are not making it easy on me right now. These are going to need to be tended pretty soon, and so I think we'll probably have to go through with our priorities and see if anybody... I mean, I don't even know if I have anybody, so he's going to tend to farming. Do farming first. Farming is your #1 priority, Harry, and then that'll work right there, because farming, you don't have to do it all the time anyways. It's just when the tending gets low, he should break off, and he should go down here and take care of it. Yeah, there it is. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Food is running out. I am well aware. I am super well aware. I am beyond well aware. These, however, do grow pretty quickly, and so if we can keep them tended, we'll be alright. I'll probably add 2 or 3 more of them, too, just so we have lots and lots of vegetables coming in so we never have to worry about food. We have a level up to worry about right now. Harry is an academic, and so we can raise his marksmanship. He's got research speed 25%. We can do occult research to make him a little bit better. His research speed is already pretty good. He's got evasion 1, I think. Yeah. Well, hold on. Can I roll that back? I didn't want to permanently do it. I just wanted to see what was going to happen if I went into there. Can Okay, well, I guess he's going to be an occult researcher now. That's fine. There's magic spells and stuff that you can research at, like devil pentagram circles and stuff like that. That'll make you a little bit stronger and more resilient. I have no idea how many vegetables we get out of each one of these. I assume we get a decent amount. I'm hoping we get a decent amount. Nobody's really drawing water either, though. Then again, water is kind of a hard thing to draw. Like, even the good artists will stumble over it, so keep in mind, it's really not that easy to do. And we've got 4 of those already assigned. Those are on autocraft right now. I'm going to say that the minimum amount that we should have is 30. Yeah, that's pretty good. Put it on 40, I guess. And the maximum amount that we should have is 50, and then you can just let the stuff sit if it needs to. That'll get us cooking again. And once these guys are done with their wood chopping task, it'll make life a lot easier too, in all honesty. I do think we're going to need a few more farms, though. So let's take a look at our building menu. And with our vegetable farms, we got enough for 2 more. And that sounds mighty fine to me. So let's go ahead and put in 2 more. Perfect. They're going to be over here tending this stuff, making sure it's doing its thing. These guys are building. He's eating lunch. And with 4 vegetable farms, I think we're going to be in a very, very dominant position as far as our food goes. The downside is he's not really getting much research done. And this game's a bit like XCOM in the fact that you need people to be doing research. If nobody's doing research, the game can get ahead of you. So the game has a difficulty curve, and you need to be ahead of that curve if you can manage it. We just unlocked some armor right there. I don't know how we make the armor. We need scrap to make the armor. And so until we have scrap, we're going to be a little bit stuck on that front. However, we do have the ability to make bows now. So make 2 bows. I will put that on the academic and the weak guy so that they can stand in the back. And then the dude that does not have those traits, our defender or whatever his name is, we'll go ahead and give him something a little bit better to play around with, like a club or whatever. We've got another level up. This is going to be on Ronald. He's a scout. He's got evasion 1 already. He's got marksmanship already. He's the weak marathon runner. And so I'm going to say to go with accuracy plus 5%. I'm going to make him into a sniper, I think. We're going to make him nice and resilient for killing off the enemy. I think that's the exact point that we want to be at. I'm a big fan of ranged weapons in this game. Not having to be near the enemy tends to be the safest place to be. If you can avoid being near the enemy, I highly recommend it. Just don't be near them. Don't be near them. With the water, can I set up on my researches right now? Water, gather limits. Yeah, 50 water is fine. And then move on to other stuff once you get done with that. I'm pretty sure we'll get calls from survivors pretty soon, too, where we can go rescue some new people. And that's what I'm really waiting for, because until our workforce is more well-developed, we're going to struggle a little bit. We're going to have some problems. Research is not getting done at all. So I may need to readjust our priorities one more time. Harry, what are you doing right now? You're working on crops? Yeah, that's eating up a lot of his time. Timmy, what are you doing? What are you doing right now, Timmy? What are you playing around with? Go ahead and move that up to there. And if nobody else wants to do research, we'll have Timmy do it. It'll be a little bit slower. But Harry's time is pretty much consumed right now by him doing random stuff with farming and whatnot. Yeah, he's definitely slower at it. He is not quite as good at that job as I had hoped. We need 30 wood to get another big log cabin in. Go ahead and build me another one over here. The sooner you can get that log cabin done, the happier Splatty will be. Our food is equalized on out, and so we were down to like 9 meals at one point or another. Now we're back up to 20-ish or so. It's a good spot to be in. As far as his researching goes, Timmy is our defender, so you two, I want you to have longbows so that you can back him up from afar. There you go. You both have accuracy perks anyway, so you might as well have that. I would love it to actually have my scientist on this. I mean, technically, I guess I could, to reprioritize this, I could put him on farming. Oh, never mind. He's bad at it. Never mind. He ain't good at it none. Ronald, I could put you on farming. And then with Harry, we could drop that back down, I guess. Just need to reprioritize how we have things going on right now. And then Timmy, with your priorities, let's go ahead and take that on back out. You don't have a whole lot of other... Oh, he's got training skills too, huh? Training and patrolling. Okay. We'll use him as a bodyguard if we need to, but I'd rather see... You can see it goes way faster with Harry doing the research than with anybody else, and that's going to be very important to us over the long run. The fact that we started with an academic, we need to use that to our advantage to get ahead of the game's tech curve. Someone is being chased by enemy creatures nearby. Send a team to rescue them. Let's do it. Oh, they're kind of far out, though. They're kind of far out. All right, create a task force. It's just one enemy, so send Timmy the defender. He is approved. And then I think the way this works is we do that right there. Ah, the rescue team needs 2 participants. That's why it won't let me do it. Okay. So we've got 2 people over here. We will send a... You must select 2 participants. I do have 2 participants. What are you talking about? Oh, I created a task force. Gotcha. So if I wanted to manage a task force, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, so we've got the cavemen. We've got these dudes over here. I assume somewhere I can disband this. Can't I? Well, anyways, I can fix it in a roundabout way by putting both of them inside the Bashers, which, while not the most creative name, I suppose is good enough. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get over there, but they're going to have to do it either way. I need to figure out a way to disband these dudes right here. I don't know how to disband them. I was looking in all the customization stuff, and I was looking around, but there don't seem to be a whole lot of ways to disband them. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out later. I recall having that problem the last time I played the game, too, is I couldn't figure out how to get rid of a task force and like eliminate them. So rescue missions are pretty simple. They're played out like RTSs. You got to find the person that you're trying to rescue. They will be inside of a devil cage. Once you liberate them, you got to get them to the edge of the map, and they will join your colony. Be careful about adding too many people. It's a lot like RimWorld in that you haven't taken care of your basic stuff. You can end up in a bit of trouble. However, there's only one enemy over here, so I ain't that worried about it. There he is. Go get him, Chief. Go get him. Yep, put some arrows on him. Perfect. Let's go find our rescue target, who is probably around here somewhere. Rescue target, where are you? Inside of a cage, turning black and blue from the beatings that the demons they gave you. Going to rescue your face off. There we go. And so more demons are going to attack us while we try to rescue this guy. One person's going to have to hold him off and keep that from becoming an issue. So there it is. He had to kill him from adjacency, but with his bonus accuracy, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Now we've got Cruz. Cruz, what are you? Cruz is a fighter. Good. That means we can put him on the task force. And once he's on the task force, he should be able to help us defend our town. And then also B, we have a couple of weak people in here right now, and so it's good to have frontline fighters if you can get them. Go ahead and retreat. Everybody's out, and so we've rescued a survivor, plus 3 XP to everybody. You guys get recalled, head back to base, and we will go back to base view. My name is Splattercat. This is Judgment Ass. I will see you all later. Thanks for stopping on in. It's been a lot of fun, everybody. If you like this video, hit the like button down below. It helps out more than you know for content creators. Aside from that, that's pretty much all I got for you. I think if you wanted to get the game, I got it for you in the description down below. On May 3rd, it'll go into its 1.0 version. It's got cutscenes and stuff now, which it didn't have before, which is pretty sweet. They're all back. Good. Glad to see it. Our little colony is growing. I will see you all next time, but we will figure out what Cruz is good at. I do.